Hey there, Virgo, and welcome to your January 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kayleigh Jean, and welcome to my channel. I record these readings for artists, entrepreneurs, creatives, and anyone who's working on their self-expression in any form. Also, personal growth and spirituality tend to be big themes. So if those areas and aspects of life are intriguing to you, I encourage you to go ahead and keep listening. I also want to remind you that you can use your sun, rising, or your moon sign for this reading, and it's normal if sometimes none of them resonate, especially at the beginning of the month, because we are tuning into kind of future energies. So one thing that I tend to commonly hear back from people in the comments is that actually at the beginning of the month when they listened to the reading, it didn't really make sense to them, but by the end of the month they came back to the reading and realized that there were some very significant thematic connections between the reading and the events of their life. So keep in mind these are just general readings. They're not meant to look at kind of specific future outcomes for us, but more looking at the overall energetic trends and sort of, like I like to call it, the energetic weather. So while I was tuning in for you, Virgo, and every time I do a reading, I always tune in spiritually first to see if there's any messages that want to come through. And for you, I was seeing an image of like multiple people kind of standing in a group, and then I saw that each one of them had this little kind of thing in their hands. It was almost like a little object, like, you know, it could have been like a crystal wrapped in paper, or a little like snow globe, or, you know, just like little kind of trinkets. Like everybody had something in their hand. And the feeling came through almost of like a gift exchange, which I thought was interesting because we actually have already had the holidays, right? But I feel like this is coming through as a symbolic metaphor and not necessarily a literal reality for most of you. But it feels like there's some kind of gift that you can get from group settings or from your friendships, basically, at this time. And I was feeling that there's almost this kind of witchy quality to this. So you could be joining like a women's group or a men's group that is, you know, prioritizes nature-based spirituality in some way, or you could be engaging more with your local area in terms of like the wildlife and doing that somehow with a group, like a meetup, like a nature meetup. I know I've looked at those in different areas that I've lived in, and I've attended some of them where you can go actually with a group and an herbalist, and they will actually, you know, take you on a hike and show you all of the different herbs in the area and the native plants and the ones that are poisonous and the ones that are good to use and what people historically use them for. So there's this kind of energy of like good things happening, or just little blessings coming into your life through group-oriented things. And I feel a very healing energy from this for you, Virgo. I also feel like some of you Virgos, maybe in 2020 in general, are embracing your ability to heal others. That was also something that was coming through, is not only people in your environment being able to bring positivity or healing energy into your life, but also you being able to affect others in healing ways. And Virgo is one of the healer signs. Actually, it's Virgo, Pisces, and Scorpio in my book that are like the healing signs. And of course, every sign has its healing qualities, but those are the ones that I personally associate with the different types of healing. So yeah, I feel like this is actually going to be a pretty supportive month for you, though, and I did see a little bit of that in your astrology as well, which we'll talk about. But let's take a look at your cards, and we'll just get some more in-depth messages. Virgo, 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 Virgo. Okay. Okay. And let's look at the bottom of the deck. We've got strength. Beautiful, since so much came through about nature, and this is one of the nature cards for me. So that's really cool. Okay. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. I'm going to take a look at your Animal Spirit Oracle cards. They tend to give us some overlying energies Oh, wow. See, we've got owl crossed by the cosmic egg. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, just like I was feeling, this is a healing month for you, Virgo. So I don't know if you are a Virgo who has been dealing with anything, um, I guess frustrating or challenging in some way, especially because so much was coming through about healing in the meditation. Some of you Virgos could be dealing with something medical that you've been concerned with, or symptoms of something, or, a process that you're going through physically that has been challenging for you in some way. And actually, what's coming through for me as I look at these cards is a really beautiful healing coming through for you. And at least I would say a reduction in your symptoms or some kind of improvement. And I see that coming through because we have the owl as your path card, and the owl indicates blessings. Whenever it comes up, this is a very special card. And this owl is actually, meant to depict the mythical owl that works with and accompanies the goddess Lakshmi. And she brings abundance and blessings and good luck. So there's a sense with this owl of like a sense of being like spiritually protected that I often see with this. It just has a very quiet energy of the divine with this card. I mean, I feel like you can just feel it when you look into its eyes. You can just feel this sense of divine protection. So for any of you who've been very concerned about something or have been very caught up in fears about any particular process that you're going through right now, just know, Virgo, that you are so loved and supported and that help is on the way. So just kind of take care of yourself in the meantime, be kind to yourself, and do what you can to support this new beneficial cycle that can come in. Because we have the cosmic egg here as the influencing energy. So this is definitely a cycle card, okay? This is a card of ushering in a new pattern in your life. And so I want to ask you, like, what changes are you looking to make maybe as you go through whatever healing process this is? And this could be, on any end of the spectrum. This could be a very, lighthearted process of a healing that you're going through, or it could also be on the other end of the spectrum. You could be going through something that's very trying, or you may have just gone through something at the last quarter of 2019, and now you're kind of in that recovery mode. But either way, whether this is just like a quiet healing of maybe, let's say, a negative belief, or it's like full on, coming through from the dark night of the soul, there is this sense of like ushering in a new pattern in your life, ushering in a new cyclical way, because that's what life does. Life moves in spirals. It does not move in a straight line. And so for you, it's like you can start to feel this spiraling pattern of your life beginning to, swing upward if you've been in a really difficult place. And I feel like these cards are just so healing and affirmative of that, and letting you know that there are cosmic implications for what you're going through right now. Like whatever struggles you have, Virgo, these struggles are going to be, they're going to become part of the new kind of structure of your life, in the sense that they're going to ignite new belief systems and new motivations, new desires, and improvements basically that you're making as a result of having gone through the struggles that you've been through recently. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is like this is a very powerful energy of kind of the divine, like reaching through this reading and sort of letting you know that you are supported, and wanting you to feel that you are actually on the right path, even if it feels kind of spiraling and weird, right? Even if it feels like something has been repeated from your past, this is still a new repetition of that. It's a new version of that, and it's leading to even more new developments in terms of the pattern of your life. So let's take a look at these cards to get some more information. Oh, see? What a freaking... I have chills right now, Virgo. What a freaking beautiful reading. Just as we're talking about this really powerful healing energy coming through, then we get the Ace of Cups as your first card. It's like this is the most divinely healing card in the deck, in my opinion. It represents pure source energy. It represents pure love. So, wow. We've got Ace of Cups, Three of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, the Chariot, Justice, and the Queen of Pentacles, which is actually really beautiful because I associate the queens with the mutable signs, and so this is mutable earth, which is Virgo. So whether you're a male or female Virgo, this is showing an improvement in your personal sovereignty in your life, and possibly even a new direction when it comes to your career, when it comes to your finances, major potential for manifestations as well, the potential to see something through that really helps you accomplish your goals, really, and a fuller expression of Virgo is happening by the end of the month. Like, you're really coming into focus, Virgo, and so I really love to see that. You've got lots of earth energy, which is not surprising for a Virgo reading. One thing that I do see here, Virgo, is that the Ace of Cups, coming in as you start the month, this is like, again, a very powerful reminder to stay in that like mindset of being willing to recognize how loved you are by spirit and by the divine. I see whatever you're going through right now, Virgo, as a time of great change, but I also see it as a time to have hope and a time to be positive about yourself and your life and your future, and to trust the ultimate meaning of the things that are going on. I also see you potentially, setting out plans to move, or, beginning actually a process of moving, or even changing jobs, changing location in some way, because we have the Three of Wands. So this is like a loving new beginning that's happening in your life. And like this person, he's actually not mid-stride in this photo, like he's, or this image, he's about to take a step. We get the impression of that, but he's actually not stepping. And so I think that's a really important message, that you're on the precipice of making a major change in your life, Virgo, and this is going to really color and make more vivid and experiential for you the energy of like the 2020s in your life. Like the steps that you take now will reverberate, and they won't dictate your entire future by any means, but they will usher in a flavor, of your life that you're seeking and that you're looking for and that you want to create. So I think that this is a really important time to take those steps and to be active on your own behalf. So that might mean doing lots and lots of research to figure out what you really want. Maybe you're looking at places you want to live, or a business that you might want to start, or something about maybe even like some type of expansion that you want to do creatively. It's like right now is the time to do your research, but also be prepared to take some actions. And we see that coming through with the eclipse energy. So on January 10th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Cancer, which is opposing this massive stellium that we have in Capricorn. And for you, the stellium in Capricorn is in your 5th house, and the lunar eclipse is in your 11th house. Okay, so the 5th and the 11th house axis is actually a pretty good axis. It's not a bad one. It's very supportive. I mean, the 5th house trines the ascendant. So, all of this stellium in Capricorn is trining your energy symbolically, and it is literally trining whatever points or planets you have in Virgo. So this is a very supportive time for you, actually. Like, some of the other signs may have a little bit of a different relationship to it, but for you, this is very much supporting you. It's supporting your physical energy, your tangible goals. It's supporting your health as well, and just your sense of like fun and creativity. So with the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, one thing that I kind of see here around the time of this eclipse is that you might be kind of wanting to start a new journey or feeling kind of prepared to do something new with the Page of Pentacles, which, you know, again, could be having to do with moving. It could be having to do with starting a new business. It could be a lot of different things that you want to put your energy into. But then we also have this Four of Pentacles. So there's a question around this time, and we also have the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto 2 days later. So there's a lot of energy, and that's why I'm focusing a lot on the second week of January in these readings, because this is very significant. There's going to be a choice, I think, for you, Virgo, around this time, where it's like, are you going to go with the flow of something? Are you going to choose which pentacle is most important and kind of run with it? Or are you going to try and hang on to too much? And as a result, kind of maybe stymie or stimmy your own energy a little bit with the Four of Pentacles. He's like sitting on these two pentacles. He's hanging onto this one. He's got one on his head. He's like weighed down almost by these pentacles. And then here, this person seems to be kind of, they only have one, but they're inspired by it. They're like, this is what I'm choosing. This is what I want. This is me being in alignment. Like, this is what that looks like for me in my life. So I want you to really be conscious, Virgo, of your fears. Like, whatever fears you have that are coming up around this eclipse, around this Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's happening, you know, in the second week of January, you're probably going to have some more kind of conservative aspects of yourself. And by conservative, I mean risk averse, really. You're going to have some of those elements of yourself coming to the forefront, where you're almost going to be like, I want to stay in my comfort zone. I want to keep doing what I've always done. But then there's a part of you that's like, but I can gain so much by doing something new, or I can gain so much by changing this. And so it's really going to be up to you. I don't think that this is the type of thing that a reader can say what you should do. But my advice would be to observe the fearful thoughts that may come up for you around this time period, especially the thoughts and beliefs that you have about yourself that would modify or change completely like the decisions that you make in your life. And ask yourself, am I really making this choice out of practicality and productivity and doing what my soul wants, or am I doing it out of fear? Like, just really know for sure what the decision relates to and what the decision is based on, okay? So that's what I'm going to leave you with for that time. But I do think that you're going to make some really great decisions, because you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Chariot following that. So should be some really good financial energy coming in for you around the third week of January. I see this being very, very positive for your bank account, Virgo. If that's like one of the primary reasons that you watch my readings is for financial information, that's something that I'm very passionate about. I think it's really empowering to have a very strong financial education and have some intention and sense of what you're doing financially. I think it's very empowering and important, and I think that we really should receive more financial education in the public school system, which unfortunately we don't at the moment. But I think that there's some kind of really good financial energy coming through, either around a decision that you're making with the Chariot, or like something maybe that you're going and doing. Like, some of you could be, for example, if you're a business owner, around that third week of January, you could be going on a business trip that ends up being very lucrative. Or you could have a booth somewhere at a fair or a farmer's market or something, if you're like a crafts person, and that could end up being very successful for you. You could help build local clientele, get the word out about what you do, and also, you know, it would be probably financially beneficial just the day itself. I would see that in these cards. So, or it could be because money is improving, you're able to make more empowering decisions in your life. So let's say you are making more money in your side business, and so you're able to put more energy into that and maybe slash your normal working hours. Your 9 to 5 becomes 9 to 3, or something like that. But overall, it's very, very positive energy when it comes to finances and your overall direction in life. So expect some good things to come in, and be very methodical about what you're doing in that third week. At the end of the month, we have the Queen of Pentacles and Justice. So I do think with Justice coming up next to the Queen of Pentacles, which is a Virgo card for me, there's something about this that feels like something is being rebalanced in your life. Okay, so think of, Virgo, for you a minute about what situations in your life have been out of balance. Maybe you have been in a living situation that just isn't really fair to you, or that isn't balancing for you constitutionally. I know people who have lived in certain areas, for example, for, a decade, and then when they move, to another state, instantly they just feel better. And they can't explain it. They feel like on some level there's just almost these geological energies of the environments that we live in. And sometimes, we can live in multiple houses in one city or one, general county area. And, it's not the house that's the problem. It's just kind of the vibe of the place, or the atmospheric energies and vibrations of the place, where when you make that decision to make a jump and move, you can feel suddenly like your body is rebalanced, literally. So there is the potential for some of you with that, because the Queen of Pentacles can relate to domesticity and home life, as well as career and, finances. So there's some kind of rebalancing happening, though. I see you kind of feeling like something's getting more, something that was kind of wonky or askew or out of balance is being righted at the end of the month. That could be as a result of your own efforts. So don't take away your own sense of personal responsibility in this, Virgo, but whatever you're doing, it's working at the end of the month, and you're going to probably start to see proof of that. So that's really what I want to communicate with the end of the month, is that something that you're doing, I want to say, is creating more of a balanced and harmonious atmosphere for you. So that is my message for Virgo for January. I hope this is helpful to you. Thank you so much for being here, Virgo. I absolutely love reading for you guys. I feel like your readings always go so deep, and I just really appreciate you. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up right now. And also subscribe and hit the bell for notifications if you enjoy my content and you want to be notified whenever I post a new reading or a new video. And I would also love to hear from you, those of you who are still with me at the very end. So you can put a little Virgo emoji if you have access to emojis on your keyboard, or you can just say, I'm still here, in the comments. I absolutely love it, and I give those a little heart as I see them come through, because it just warms me so much to see that you guys are with me to the end, and I really appreciate you, and I hope that you have an amazing year in 2020, a really beautiful and blessed beginning to your year as well. Sending you so much love and gratitude. Mwah, and I will talk to you next time, Virgo. See ya.